Can I have the video on screen? Who's running it? Indrani? Okay. Okay, this is the 76th annual general meeting of the Indian Institute of Metal. It's being held today, that's 30th July 2022, 16:30 hours. I think we guess we are 5 minutes late to transact the ordinary business of the Indian Institute of Metal and resolve the same. Next slide. Resolution 1. To approve and adopt the report of the Council for the year 2021-22, that is 1st April 21 to 31st March 22. Resolution number 2, to appoint the Council and the office bearers for the period 1st August 2022 to 31st July 2023, as tenure of the current Council is getting over on 31st July, hence AGM is called to elect the new Council members. Resolution number 3, to consider approving and adopting the financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2022 and the report of the auditors thereon at an adjourned AGM. Resolution number 4, to authorize any director of the Institute to file the necessary returns and information with the Register of Companies in accordance with the provisions laid down in the Companies Act 2013. Resolution number 5, Mr. Somnath Guha and Kushal Saha, currently designated as additional directors with MCA, be confirmed as directors with MCA with effect from 1st August 2022. Confirmation of the minutes of the 75th AGM held on 31st July 2021 through BC. The minutes were circulated to all members of the Institute. No comment was received. The minutes may be confirmed with the consent of the member. I need someone to propose and somebody to second it, please. Okay, Dr. Kumar is the proposer. Someone to second it. Dr. Devashish Bhattacharya seconding it. Now request the President to request member to observe a minute silence to pay tribute to the departed souls.
Please stand up for a minute, please.
Okay, thanks.
Just this was in memory of Dr. Krishnan, Dr. Sri Kumar Banerjee, Dr. Subir Kumar Bhattacharya, Mr. Padmanabhan, Dr. Padmanabhan, Mr. Rajashekaran, and Mr. Malay Mukherjee. So, Kushal, we are passing a resolution to convey the condolences to the
Yes,
families.
we'll intimate the families. I need your permission.
I'll now request Mr. Kushal Saha, Secretary General, to present the Council report for FY 21-22, initiatives and activities during the Council year 21-22.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first is on ACFP, Advisory Committee of Former Presidents. In fact, last year we created an SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, for ACFP formation, with a primary objective to make the constitution of ACFP person independent, eliminating members' discretion. The following ACP, as mooted by the Apex, was approved by the Council in its meeting held on 31st March 2021. This formulation shall enable automatic reformation of the ACFP every year. So far, the committee was being changed every few years. However, with effect from 2021-22, Council year, that is last year, the following thumb rule has been adopted. The advisory committee of the former president shall constitute the 9 most recent former presidents, barring the 2 immediate former presidents. Reconstitution of the national committees. The following committees were reconstituted the last council year: ACFP for 1 year, AFRC for 2 years, Iim Awards committees 1 year, Publications committee for 2 years, CRC Chapter Relationship Committee for 2 years, and Education Examination Committee for 2 years. So, implementation of the compact web application in Iim head office. Finance implemented in a full-fledged manner with effect from April 2022. No major discrepancies found. The profit and loss account ledger for FY 22-23 shall be reconciled shortly. Would discontinue with the Fox Pro, which is that old system we had completely. That will be removed. Membership. There is no pending reports to be created and modified as on date. However, the chapter-wise list getting generated through the system contains minor anomalies which are getting addressed. Salient deliberations. The FRC suggested that the Tally ERP module may be introduced, being user-friendly and widely used in different sectors. Tally software may be explored to be used as integrated applications for finance, membership and examination. It was opined that membership module may be revisited and the possibility of making it easier may be checked, enabling implementation of the Tally ERP module. Introduction of Tally software as an integrated application is being explored. Refurbishment of metal house and mural installation. Repair refurbishment work at IMHO and progress made in mural installation. The repair work of the metal house has been completed as on 31st March 2022. The mural installation work for the auditorium, as was initiated last year, was completed in February 2022. However, the rest of the mural work, front and side facade, have not yet been completed. On thorough inspection, scope gap had been identified by IIM, which was communicated to the muralist. The muralist has agreed to work on the loopholes without any additional cost. Total cost estimated to be incurred is about 27.53 lakhs against a budget of 30 lakhs. Appointment of internal auditors for FY 21-22. I have advertised for the internal auditor position early this year. Scope of work: suggesting entries for incorporation of chapter accounts in the books, preparation of schedule for depreciation on fixed assets and suggesting entries for the same, preparation of financials for audit including balance sheet, profit and loss account and cash flow statement, preparation of chapter-wise and HO breakup of the financials. Time frame approximately 3 months. Out of this quotation received, we have chosen Mr. Neeraj Agarwal. He is a CA, CS and MBA. As against an L2 bid, he was at lowest number 2, selected by the unit auditor by AFRC. Working towards achieving unqualified auditor's report or nil opinion from the auditor. The Council has been stringent in regularizing the chapters in accordance to the following mandatory parameters. The timely submission of annual audit accounts for each financial year. Based on the aforesaid, 9 chapters have been dissolved in FY 22-23, which are Ambernath, Chittorgarh, Jabalpur, Katni, Korba, Kolar Goldfield, Roorkee, Surathkal and Udaipur. Out of this, Roorkee and Surathkal have already initiated the revival process. The auditor opinion have been weighted and reviewed internally. It is expected that FY 21-22 financial statements shall attract nil or negligible qualification. GST registration and GST returns. Registered chapters as on 31st March 2022, there are 33 apart from IMHO. Last year, we had 3 registration done for the Raigarh, Ambernath and Nagpur chapter. Summary of the annual GST returns for FY 2021. Annual GST return amount has come down drastically. We paid only about 1,16,000 rupees IIM chapters have improved in compliance and adherence, taking regular help from our GST team at HO. Transaction of IIM agreement with Springer Nature Amendment. The Springer IIM agreement is signed in FY 21-22 regarding GST issues in favor of IIM. It will save 18% of royalty, which is a GST rate, amounting about rupees 18 lakhs. Assumption here is we'll keep getting at least 1 crore of royalty from Springer. Thanks to Professor Murthy and his team. The publisher, the Springer, shall pay the GST charged by the organization in its invoice from the effective date of the agreement. All amounts mentioned in this publishing agreement are exclusive of any goods and service tax, value-added or similar taxes, government fees or levies or their other assessments. The publisher will pay the GST charged by the organization in its invoice from the effective date of agreement. All other statements and stipulation of the agreement remain unaffected. Revival of dormant chapters in 21-22. Keonjhar has been fully revived. Roorkee is in the process of revival. They have currently crossed 30 members, the numbers, which is our requirement as per IIM that each chapter should have. Surathkal is in the process of revival. So currently we have 47 active chapters and dissolved numbers 9. Formation of thematic groups. Initiatives are taken by the President to create materials and manufacturing-based themes through focus group taking cue from the institutions such as Institute of Metal, Material and Mineral, IOM 3, ASM, AIST, creation of focus groups based on materials and manufacturing themes. Composite materials, medical materials, energy materials, additive manufacturing, hydrogen, carbon capture, and utilization, etc. Charter, formation of a group in each theme comprising of academicians, industry experts, government administrators with an eminent leader. Organize master classes and lectures, a platform for engagement and source of income. Create national technology roadmaps for each theme. Engage with principal scientific advisor to the Government of India on the themes. A group on circular economy was formed with 3 subgroups covering all material. This is being led by Dr. U. Kamachi Mudli, our former president. Awards for material technology startups. With an objective to create platforms for industry-sponsored competition and recognition of materials-related startups, this award scheme is instituted. Corpus fund for the award were 1.15 crore to be created from excess of the revenue of NMD ATM 2020 and IIM ATM 2021 International Conference and NMA. Sponsorship will also be raised every year. The interest from the corpus fund and the sponsorship will be used to conduct the competition and fund the awards. Scope. Any startup in the domain of materials and manufacturing technology covering metallic and non-metallic materials, including composites, advanced ceramics, medical materials and nanomaterials. Best practices will be drawn from the Startup Award given by INAE and CII. Governance. The entire process will be operationalized by a committee led by Professor Amal Gokhale and includes Mr. Kushal Saha. They will also be free to induct members as needed. Cash prize suggested were rupees 2 lakh plus and a scroll of honor. Continue and strengthen existing initiatives. Knowledge and skill enhancement program with KIIT, that is the Kalinga Institute of Technology. MOU signed last calendar year. Price negotiation committee formed and proposal sent. Courses shall commence from this calendar year from their spring semester. Interaction with global professional bodies like NAMIC of Singapore, JIM, Japan Institute of Metal, GDMB of Germany, and ASM International. Joint events being held, collaborative approaches being made. Online short-term courses. 2 courses were held in July 21. They were on basics of data science for metallurgy and manufacturing and lightweight materials for transportation. 3 more courses are being planned this year. On the other hand, Iim Agm is being conducted autonomously with effect from 2020. Examination being held in December. E-repository system. For IIM members, it has been designed as on 31st March 2022, 8.11 lakh pages have been digitized and uploaded in a server. We are going to do the inauguration today only at the end of this meeting. Transaction of IIM have made a revenue of rupees 93.64 lakhs into 21. It had an impact factor of about 1.4. Building of footprints in social media. Student members and student affiliate chapters are roped in to strengthen this initiative. IIM Platinum Jubilee Celebration 2021 and 22. A culmination of the Foundation Day and the Platinum Jubilee celebration at IIM HO in a hybrid mode was held on 24th February 2022. A couple of webinars were hosted by IIM HO on the Foundation Day, speakers being Mr. Bhaskar Roy, a former Secretary General, and Dr. D. Desarkar, former Joint Honorary Secretary and Honorary Treasurer. Release of the book called Indian Metallurgists in Platinum Years was initially planned for the Foundation Day. But as on date, 35 articles are received and 5-6 articles are still remaining. Hence, the release has been shifted to November 2022 during the IIM ATM 2022 ceremony. A professional agency has been hired with the help of Tata Steel to make a corporate movie commemorating the Platinum Jubilee year. A year-long 21 to 22 monthly webinar series constituting of 1 webinar per chapter and at most 2 webinars in a month was conducted. Under this theme, 12 chapters participated in holding webinars on present cutting-edge developments or emerging areas. A decent participation was witnessed all throughout. IIM ATM 2021. The flagship event held in hybrid mode has been a huge success, the surplus being the highest till date. Total revenue was 2,66,93,441. Total expenses was 71,21,723. And the surplus is 1,95,71,723. And an amount of rupees 1 crore has been earmarked for the material technology startup from this surplus money. Rest surplus has been shared between HO and sponsoring chapters. Come to 4M 2022. The 13th International Exhibition and Conference on Minerals, Metals, Metallurgy and Materials shall be held between 25th and 27th August. There's a typo there. It's August. Please read as August. August 22 at Pragati Maidan, Delhi. The exhibition is a joint initiative of the World Metal Forum and Hive India Limited, formerly IT Group. The business platform has been well recognized by the industry in India as well as the world over, and product showcasing and branding. Next. This is on a membership. It shows that graphs category wise for last 2 years and the current year. It is 22 is the blue, then you have an orange or red 21 and grey 20. You find some bit of increase in the last 3 years, and I think this is pretty good because we looking at the corona scene, COVID and all we had, even then there was a growth. But what we need to really work on is the corporate. The corporate membership is pretty much really at the bottom. You can hardly see those things, those small little graphs or whatever. Next. IIM website revamping. IIM has engaged a vendor with Tata Steel support for the revamp of business website. The project shall cost around rupees 20 lakhs. IIM membership directory and IIM awards portal, if improvised and redesigned, would entail further cost. So we look at it only after completion of the first project. Then IIM Platinum Jubilee or digital souvenir. You have gone ahead. Tanisha. Yeah, this is the right one, okay. Make it bigger. Okay, I'm sorry for that trouble. So Iim Platinum Jubilee a digital souvenir. Iim HO is in the process of preparing a digital souvenir on the monthly webinar series as were held as a part of Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The souvenir shall be released in Council year 2022-23, that is in the coming year. Next slide, please. Now, to approve the Council report for the year 2021-22, the report of the Council for the preceding Council year was circulated to all Iim members by email dated 14 July 22 for subsequent adoption during the 76th annual general meeting of Institute. Resolution number 1. Resolved to approve and adopt the report of the Council for the year 2021-22. It is 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2022. That is one of those ordinary businesses that we need to conduct. Proposers. Thank you, Mr. Singh. Somebody second, please. Thank you, Professor Murthy. Appointment of the Council for 2020-23 as per the provision of Clause 18 of the Article of Associations of the Institute, the appointment of office bearers and Council members for the year 2020-23 is hereby presented at the Secretary General, Mr. Kushal Saha, for his adoption. So I'll read out the Council that slate who are being appointed. So you all aware that President-elect Mr. Kamath, Dr. Kamath will be a President for 22-23. And the Vice President and Chairman Non-Ferrous Division, Mr. Satish Pai, will be the senior most VP. Mr. Sajjan Jindal is the Vice President and Chairman of Ferrous Division, is not here today. And we have our new Vice President Metal Science, Professor B.S. Murthy. Please come on stage. Then the Honorary Treasurer, Mr. Somnath Guha, Secretary General Kushal Saha, the Joint Honorary Secretary, that President's Office, is yet to be chosen. So we'll inform the Council later. Controller of Examination, Professor P.K. Mitra, Chief Editor, Transaction, Dr. B.S. Murthy. So even this position is going to be changed because he is occupying now the Vice Presidentship of Metal Science Division. And Chief Editor, Iim Metal News, Dr. N. Ishwara Prasad, and Mr. T.V. Narendran will be the immediate former President. Now the members, industry representatives, there are 9 slots. First one is Ms. Soma Mandal, Chairperson SAIL, Mr. Atanu Bhomik, Director in charge, Rourkela SAIL, Mr. Sanjay Sharma, Chief Executive L&T, Special Steel and Heavy Forging Division, Hazira, Mr. Arun Mishra, CEO, Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Arun Shukla, CMD, Hindustan Copper, Dr. S.K. Jha, CMD, Midhani, Mr. B.R. Sharma, CEO, JSPL, Mr. Barun Roy, Hindalco, In the experts category, there are 9 slots. The first one is Miss Deepa Srinivasan from Pratt and Whitney, Mr. Lokendra Raj Singh, JSW Vijayanagar, Mr. Bibu Mishra, Hindalco, Dr. R. Bala Murali Krishnan, DMRL, Mr. Ashish Mandal, Hindalco, Dr. SVS Narayan Murthy, PSSC, Professor Sushil Mishra, IIT Bombay, Professor Amit Arora, IIT Gandhinagar, Dr. Vilas Tatwadkar, Hindalco. In the R&D and Academia category, there are 9 slots. Dr. Indranil Chattaraj, Director NML Jamshedpur, Professor S. Basu, Director IMMT Bhubaneswar, Dr. Suman Kumari Mishra, Director CGCRI, Dr. Devashish Bhattacharya, Tata Steel, Dr. B. Venkatraman, IGCAR, Professor B.K. Mishra, Director IIT Goa, Professor Rajiv Shekhar, Director IIT Dhanbad, Professor Satyam Shuas, IISc Bangalore, and Professor Jaya Balila, IIT Bombay. And there are 20 representatives in the council from our chapters. I won't read out the names, I'll just tell you about this chapter which will be there in a council. In the large category, there are 6. Bhilai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Ranchi, Angul, Bhubaneswar. In the medium category, there are 5. Coimbatore, Trichirappalli, Chandigarh, Chennai, and Varanasi. In the small, there are 9 chapters. It begins with IEST, Shivpur, Burnpur, Bhopal, Kharagpur, Dolvi, Kanpur, Goa, Kalinganagar, and Ichapur. And apart from them, there will be an NMD organizing committee that for the upcoming, IIM ATM organizing committee convener, Dr. Amit Bhattacharya, and our AFRC chairperson, Mr. Bhaskar Roy. So this completes the 60 number that slots of our council. So resolution number 2 reads that resolve to appoint the council and the office bearer for the period of 1st August 2022 to 31st July 2023. As tenure of the current council is getting over on 31st July, hence AGM is called to elect new council members. Okay, so I request the members to come forward and propose this council, which has been approved by the council meeting just held prior to this meeting. Dr. Kumar? Okay, thank you, Mr. Badu. Now I request Mr. Somnath Guha, our honorary treasurer, to come up here and do the needful. Next slide.
This is regarding the institute's financials. In 21-22, the statutory financial audit will be to be placed in the adjourned AGM because it is just in the final stages of closing. The auditor is going through the report, and this time the decision was taken that we'll try to have this without any comment. So we'll try to resolve all the comments as much as possible and see that we can make it without any comment of the auditor. So for that reason, a lot of changes, or I'll say a lot of activities had to be done, and it is going up and down with the auditors, and they're finding out very good observations. And those observations we are trying to attend, and mostly it has got attended except one of the observation which probably came up and it is taking some time is related to the fixed deposits which are lying with the chapters. because we do have the copies of the fixed deposit, photocopies, but then the auditor says that you let it be certified by the banks that those fixed deposits as on 31st of March exist, and a certification has to come. So that we have got from most of the chapters, but I think few are left. So that is why there is some delay. Now, purpose of going through all this is this time, one of the good things which we could probably do with the HO and the chapters working in tandem, that all the 45 chapters accounts has come. That means except the 9 chapters who are under revival, some of them are under revival, all 100% success rate is available and the audits have come. And the refinement process is on some of the cases. So this was this just a resolution on this. The financial statements has been statements of the year 31st March and report of the auditors thereon adjourned AGM will be done. So actually, I think after that we'll put it forward. So just to give you a brief, this is how the financial status is as on today. So with this, I hand over back to Mr. Kushal Shah to take it forward.
Now, the resolution here is number 3, resolved to consider approving and adopting the financial statements for the year ended 31st March 22 and the report of the auditors thereon adjourned AGM. So again, I request the members to approve this by proposing it first and then seconding it. Okay, thank you, Mr. Singh, Elad Singh, seconding. Mr. Roy, thanks. So the next resolution is resolved to authorize any director of the institute to file the necessary returns and information with the Register of Companies in accordance with the provision laid down in the Companies Act 2013. Proposer and a seconder. Thanks, Vilas Kathwardkar ji. Seconding by? Okay, thanks, Dr. Kumar. The last resolution, the number 5, is resolved that Messrs. Somnath Guha and Kushal Saha, currently designated as additional directors with MCA, be confirmed as directors with MCA with effect from 1st of August 2022. Okay, thanks, Amal. Okay, now we come to any other matter stage. We have done with this all 5 resolutions. So launch of the homepage version of the Iim website by the President. Launching of the website, our technical team. Actually, there are 2 items linked with it, both inauguration. Want to skip the inaugurations? Okay. There looks to be some technical glitch. We have launched our new website. The website is yet to be launched, but the new homepage, which has been designed by Malinlo Lintas. So that was launched during our council meeting. We also had another launch of our digital library. The Metal House library has been digitized, so we are throwing it open to our members. From sitting at home, they can access our library. Even that, these two launches were done in council meeting. I'm sorry for the trouble we are facing now, but change the laptop. Yeah, we have another laptop, no? It was running for so long that. It's come. Okay. We have spare laptop. I don't have a spare projector. No input is detected. No input is missing. It's come? It's come, it's come. Okay. Okay, it's come. Mr. President, you have to turn your chairs a little bit to look at the screen. Members, please have a look at the new website. This is how is our homepage going to look like. We had one good suggestions. We need to change some of the model. Photograph they're showing our non-Asian people, so we have to show some Indian faces. There are some our own people.
So membership benefits, all those things are there?
Yeah, they're all there. They are there even the current website also, but only thing it's in a better format, better shapes, easier to navigate. As they call, number of scrolls that you have, that less here to get requisite information. Okay, thanks Tanisha. That's it, no? Okay. Library, yes, Dr. Samir Kamath. Next, hang on, let's let it come. That is the linkage. You can go to a library through a website. It's not linked now, it's only a home page, dummy. Okay, Dr. Kamath, for you. No, make it full, it's already cut. The ribbon should look full here. Anyway, thanks. Thanks a lot. Tanisha, okay, take it off. Can I request Mr. Narayanan to speak a few words regarding our journey in the last council year, 21-22? Yeah. You can speak from there. It's okay.
Okay. So firstly, thank you, Kushal. Dr. Parbat and Mr. Marwa, Amol, Mohanty was here, he's not here now. All the past presidents, seniors who online if they're not here physically. My colleagues on the dais, Samir, Satish, and now Professor Murthy, Kushal, all the other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, thank you very much. It's been a great honor and privilege for me and for Tata Steel to serve this great institution in this very significant year where we are celebrating the 75th year of our existence. So this institution obviously has a very glorious history, and I think it's quite unique. And I've said this many times because there are very few institutions like this where the industry, academia, and the scientific community come together and in a very structured way engage with each other. So I think the challenge for us is how can we leverage this opportunity much more. And this is an institution where many past presidents have left their mark in furthering the cause, and I'm sure all future presidents will continue to do the best that they can for this institution. In the 75th year, we did a number of things. I think Kushal talked about it. The Platinum Jubilee celebrations were actually initiated during Amol's time as a president. We did a very popular series of monthly webinars hosted by different chapters. We had a special issue of transactions, thanks Professor Murthy, and the video was produced on 75 years of Iim. The annual technical meet and international conference was very successful, as Kushal mentioned, not only for the quality of content and online management, but also generated the largest ever revenue for Iim. And this revenue has also helped us start this new initiative in this Platinum Jubilee year, trying to connect with the startup ecosystem. Because there's a lot of innovative work going on there, and I think the thinking was that the startups which get a lot more visibility and prominence are more the B2C kind of startups, whereas there's a lot of good work going on with startups in the material science area and things like that. And how can we as an institution promote that? I also think it's a great opportunity for us to then connect with the younger demographic who's constantly asking what is it that they can get from Iim. So we've, Professor Amol Gokhale will be with this whole and even get them to participate in the events that we have in the future. We also started this initiative on theme-based groups that was mentioned. Dr. Kamachi Mudli is running with it. Again, the learning is from other international institutes that we've seen, and how is it that we cut across the verticals that we have today and address themes which are relevant for all of us, whether we are in academia, whether we are in scientific institutions or in industry. And how can we create a lot more awareness, a lot more content, a lot more discussion over a period of time so that the whole ecosystem gains from these kind of initiatives that we can drive. Of course, one of the other things which is more administrative, but I think a lot of good work was done by the team, was streamlining the account submission and audit of the chapters, because I think the regulatory environment is getting tougher and tighter, and I think as a 75-year-old institution, we want to make sure that we are complying, not only compliant, but we are not leaving any loose ends behind. Some of the dormant chapters hence had to be closed and few were revived. It's been my effort with the support of the Apex Committee and the Council to add value to this organization. I must thank all the past presidents, many of whom I've known for many years, and the Apex Committee members, Mr. Kushal Saha and the whole team here. I think they've been working relentlessly through a very difficult year, and members of the Council for working together and supporting each other in this effort. I certainly, I hope, I wish Samir and Satish and Professor Murthy and Mr. Sajjan Jindal all the very best. I think one area which we've talked about, which is still work in progress, is how can we increase the diversity of leadership, certainly on the stage and even otherwise at the chapter level. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's been a wonderful experience for me. And as I said, Tata Steel, and I'm very obliged for this same. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Samir Kamath to take up the baton and speak a few words.
Dr. Parbat, Shri Marwa, Shri Mohanty, Professor Gokhale, Shri Narendran, Shri Satish Pai, Professor Murthy, Somnath and Kushal. It's indeed a privilege and an honor to be selected as the next president of Indian Institute of Metals. As Mr. Narendran mentioned, Iim is a unique organization. It has a long history. It has been led by very eminent presidents. And Mr. Narendran himself has set such a high bar that it will be a very difficult act to follow. But I can assure you I will put in my best efforts to live up to your expectations. I intend to carry forward all the initiatives which Mr. Narendran initiated during his tenure, and also the initiatives which Professor Gokhale and Kamachi Murli initiated during their tenures, which are still ongoing. As Mr. Narendran mentioned, our major challenge is how do we attract the younger demographic. So one of the focus areas for my presidency will be to increase our membership and also ensure that the younger demographic finds Iim interesting enough to join. I think several initiatives which have been taken, like the Startup Awards, this involving thematic groups which can mentor, not only establish policies but also mentor people who are interested in working in those areas. And these are some of the initiatives which will help us attract younger demographic. But I am looking forward to suggestions from you. We will also form a committee to see how we can make Iim membership attractive for the younger demographic. I'm also looking forward to working with my team. I have a very distinguished team which will work with me. Mr. Satish Pai, Professor Murthy, Mr. Sajjan Jindal, and of course the council members who have just been elected. I'm sure this team will live up to your expectations. The immediate challenge that we have is the 4M conference which Iim Delhi chapter is organizing, and of course the big event that we have in November, that is the Iim ATM. This year it is going to be organized at Hyderabad, and this is going to be a physical event, and this is going to be organized after 3 years. I think the last physical event was in Trivandrum. The last 2 events were basically online, though they were partially hybrid, but mostly online. So that is going to be a challenge, but I'm sure Iim Hyderabad chapter, along with the chapters close by, will strive hard to make it a very grand event. So with these few words, I hand it back to Kushal. And thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Kamath. Now I declare this meeting as closed, and thank you all very much for joining. Please join us at the high tea which is being served in the adjacent room, that is Far Pavilion. Thank you.